this dip is starting to get a little bit serious. It's not like the other dips. If you look at this dip, we're back at 63,255. And if you look at the bubbles, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible red day. Now, why I say starting to get serious is because it's not like the other dips. If you look at like the previous dips that we've had, they were very, very, very quick to go down and very, very, very quick to go back up. They were bought up very quickly. And that's a sign of huge positive momentum in the market. But this one feels a little bit different. This one feels like it's going down a lot slower. And it almost feels like there's not anyone buying it up. I don't see the ETFs coming in and snapping up this dip and putting us straight back in the bull market. And that's why I think that this may be the first real dip that we've had in a while. And I know that there are some geniuses out there who are on Twitter and they are telling you that these are perfect entries and you should buy this dip as quickly as possible. But I don't think it's the right time. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting and waiting. And I'm going to show you today exactly what I'm waiting for before I actually start buying and why I think that this dip is not finished yet. And then I'm going to show you exactly what tokens I'm looking to buy and why I'm looking to buy the tokens. And you may be shocked because a lot of them aren't the same tokens that I've been buying. So we've got a lot to do today. Big show. I don't like making these bearish shows, but these are shows, and these are the shows that are going to make you the most money in this bull market. So let's get going, guys. It's so funny because a lot of you in the comments are talking about why we're late and a whole lot of other people are asking why we're early. So we kind of half early, half late. And the reason is, remember that from this week, we are broadcasting 1 hour earlier to fit the US people. Remember the US clock moved back. So we want to move our broadcasting back so we fit in with the US clock. I know Europe hasn't moved back. Europe moves back at the end of the month, but we started to move back. So we are moving back and we will be here at 15 past this hour. Depends where you're watching. We're at 15 past this hour. We are moving our time back. So listen, we've got a lot to do today. So let's get away from the formalities very, very, very quickly. We have a lot to discuss today. I'm going to show you why I think this dip may be the first real correction that we've had in a while. I'm going to show you how to play the correction. I'm going to show you what to do if you're holding tokens that you don't want to be holding. I'm going to show you what to do if you think you want to get out of tokens, let you know exactly when to get out. And then I'm going to show you what I'm buying and when I'm buying. And I think you're going to get a little bit of a surprise when I show you exactly what I'm buying and when I'm buying. Now, do I think that this bull market is over? Abso-fucking-lutely not. This bull market is just beginning. But do I think that we are in a bit of a correction? And this correction is maybe slightly different from all the other corrections that we've had. That's what I want to talk to you about today. So listen, if you are new to the channel, where the hell have you been? I mean, we're halfway through the bull market and you've just discovered us. Subscribe to this channel, smash the notification bell. Remember, only subscribers to Banter and Banter Plus are eligible for the Banter bags. If I give away the Banter bags today, don't all of a sudden say, oh, but I wasn't subscribed to Banter Plus. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to the other channel. Make sure that you're eligible to win the Banter bags. The Banter bags are going to be amazing, amazing. Jill says she's grateful for the alpha. Today's going to be a huge alpha show. I see you guys all here, all the people that know that we start the show early these days. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the other guys. They're going to watch this thing. They're going to watch this show much, much, much later. Anyway, let's get into the alpha of the day. Let's talk about this correction that we are currently undergoing, because this is a very different correction. We are now at, if you want to call it, key levels. This is like a key level. You can see either Bitcoin bounces off this line or we break down below this line and then we start going lower. And the question is then, how low do we actually go? And you can see that the altcoins are also getting a bit of a ass whipping, ass kicking, whatever you want to call it. When you look, whether you look at it on the daily, look at these moves, 21% down, 11% down on Rune. Has Rune hit my $5 target? Not yet. Bonk down 15%. If you look at the weekly, also very, very, very red picture on the weekly, very red picture on the weekly. And I know a lot of people are talking about this correction and they're looking for reasons why we're getting this correction. And they are saying, look, tomorrow we have the FOMC meeting. And that's correct. We do have the FOMC meeting. I don't think the FOMC meeting is going to be very scary, even though we will be here live. We will be broadcasting and we will be trading the FOMC live here with you. on our Bybit and on our BitGet account. If you don't already have a Bybit and BitGet account, sign up right now to Bybit and BitGet. Don't wait until we actually start. Don't wait until we actually start to sign up to your account and then realize, oh goodness, I don't have an account. Go right now. Let me show you where you need to go. You go to this video over here. Go to this video right here and click here and sign up to this account over here. Sign up to any one of these accounts, but primarily the ones we're going to be trading are the Bybit and BitGet account. And then that's obviously one of your chances to win the Banter bags. So people are looking for a reason. So the FOMC meeting tomorrow, I don't think that's a non-event. The Bank of Japan raising interest rates. That could be something to worry about. So the Bank of Japan hasn't raised interest rates since 2007. Now they are raising interest rates, which could mean a tighter monetary policy, which could mean less liquidity. Now, we know that less liquidity means bad for risk assets. So that is something that we're going to be watching. Other people are saying, look, it's the reason why the markets are going down is because of Grayscale. Grayscale had their biggest outflow day ever yesterday, the $643 million. But don't worry, IBIT came in and scooped up most of it. So yes, we did have a negative day on the ETFs, but that's not the reason for this correction. I'm going to be straight with you. The reason for this correction is very simple. The reason for this correction is because we are in the 4-year cycle pre-halving correction phase. And in the pre-halving correction, usually about a month before the halving, we get a correction. In fact, as I said to you yesterday, all the corrections have been exactly negative 38%. I don't want to start talking about a negative 38% correction because that would take us down to $45,000. And that's not where I think we're going to go. But this is a normal pre-halving correction. So as Rec Capital says, he says, historically, Bitcoin has performed pre-halving retraces 14 to 28 days before the halving. That's where we are today. In 2020, this retrace was 20% deep and began 14 days before the halving. That's kind of like where we are today. The retrace lasted a few days, but proceeded over 150 days reaccumulation period. In 2016, the pre-halving retrace was minus 40% and began 28 days before the halving. So we're firmly in this pre-halving correction territory. But this dip does feel slightly different. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. This is the main thing that you have to understand today. This dip is slightly different. And the reason why this dip is slightly different is because if you think of all the previous dips that we've had 4 dips in this bull run. We've had a negative 23, we've had a negative 21, we've had a negative 22, and we've had a negative 21%. So you can see the dips haven't actually been respectable dips, because we said a respectable dip, if you want to be a dip and you want to you want to be a respectable dip in terms of the dips, you need to be like a 30% correction. So all these dips have been semi-respectable dips. But this one, the difference between the previous ones and this one, I think, is that the previous ones went down very quickly. As you can see with the last correction, we went down 21%. It took us 12 days to go from where we were before to the bottom. It took us 12 days. And then it got bought up pretty quickly. Within 20 days, it got bought up, and we were back at the same level that we were before the dip. The total time of this dip was 20 days plus 12 days, was 32 days. That's it. But the main thing that I want to show you is it was bought up pretty quickly, which is pretty common in a bull market. But this happened too quickly. And that's what worries me here. What worries me here, if you look at not this dip over here, this is a real dip. And the reason why this is a real dip is because it goes down. It went all the way down. It took it 59 days to go up, and then 43 days to go up. This is a long kind of dip. This is one of these bullet dips where you go down. Before you even get to the bottom, people start buying up this dip insatiably. Now, I think that this dip that we're experiencing right now is starting to resemble something a little bit less like this dip over here and a little bit more like this dip over here. Now, do I think it's going to take us 59 days to get to the local bottom? No ways. Do I think it's going to take us another 43 days to recover to get the same price, 100 and something days? No. But do I think that this dip is going to recover very, very, very quickly? I don't think we're in that kind of dip. I think this is the kind of dip that's going to mess with your mind. And the reason why I say I think it's going to mess with your mind is because we're already seeing that Bitcoin is going down as Bitcoin is going down, it's starting to recover to make you think that dip's over. So we went, if you look at the Bitcoin chart, we went from 73,400. We went all the way down to 65,000. Then we went back up to 69,000. Everyone thought this dip is over. This dip is over. And now we're starting to move our way back down again. And that's what I'm seeing for this dip. I think it's going to follow something like this. Stop freaking out. It's last week's lows and an all-time high shakeout. Then the next time it goes down, 30% pullbacks are common. Are you a tourist? Then it's like, we're going to go all the way down here. Everyone says it's just an ETF retest, bro, until eventually we get down here and it says, I demand that the New York Attorney General investigate 𝗓𝗏 for market manipulation. So this is what a real dip looks like. The dips that we've had up until now, there was a problem. The dips that we had up until now, these dips that we had up until now weren't real dips. They were dips that were bought up really quickly. What concerns me is that this dip will start following similar steps to this. Obviously not exactly the same steps as this. And so what 𝗥𝗚𝗢𝗀𝗀𝗀 says, he says, Bitcoin will retrace deep enough to convince you that the bull market is over, and then it will resume its uptrend. Now, what I think he's almost right. I think it's going to retrace enough to make us feel pain. But I think that there's a time element to it which needs to be taken into account. So it's not only about how far Bitcoin goes down. The problem is the length of time that this correction is taking out to play. If this correction went down, and even if it went down to say, I don't know, 50,000, but then it recovered within 3 or 4 days, I don't think that would shake out the weekends. I think what's going to shake out the weekends a lot quicker, and not a lot quicker, but a lot more properly. I don't know what the right word to say is. If you want a dip, dips are designed to shake out froth, to shake out weak hands, to shake out paper hands. That is what dips are designed to do. The problem with a dip that goes down, like this dip over here, where it went down for 12 days and then recovered, it didn't shake out anybody. It may have shaken out some leverage, but it didn't shake out froth. It didn't shake out anyone. And within 3 days, we were back to our old ways. We were back to our old ways. We were back to trading meme coins. We were back to just throwing money at everybody on the internet. Dips are designed to shake that out of the market. Dips that are bought back quickly, and this dip was bought back quickly. It was bought back by the ETFs because we had that hose pipe of the ETFs filling up the pool, right? Now, that didn't shake out anyone. It may have shaken out a little bit of the leverage, but it didn't shake out the bad behavior. It didn't shake out the froth. Generally, when you have dips in a bull market, you shake out the previous cycle or the previous part of the cycle's froth, and you replace it with a new kind of behavior. And that is why when you have dips, it usually ushers in different stages of the bull market. And what happens in the one stage of the bull market is very different from the narratives that happen in the other stage of the bull market. And that's why one of the things we're going to talk about today is making a buy list. And the reason why it's important that we need to make a buy list is because the stuff that we bought in the previous part of the bull market is not relevant anymore. It's already had its day, including Solana. We'll talk about Solana as well. Maybe it's not the smartest thing to have Solana on your buy list anymore because we're moving into a new part of the bull market. That's what we're going to be talking about. So as 𝗥𝗚𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 says, he says, look, you got to feel enough pain to convince you that the bull market is over, and that's when a real correction will be over. And that's why I say that up until now, I don't think that we've had any meaningful dips in this bull market, because none of them were painful enough for long enough to get you to sell your tokens, or to get you to want to capitulate out of this game, or to get you to capitulate out of a certain behavior. None of the dips that we've seen did that. Why? Because they were bought up too quickly, because of the hose of the ETF. And this is what Dan Crypto says. He says, price action so far as imagined. Choppy, making lower highs and baiting everyone into the sweeps. Hope you guys have been patient. I'll repeat, these are the conditions where you will give back all your previously made gains if you're stuck too long with bad habits from the up-only move. We're in exactly that mindset. We're in the up-only mindset. We haven't seen a real part of the correction. And what we are seeing is that even though Bitcoin is only down 15%, some of our major altcoins, some of the major altcoins are down. I mean, just let's look at it. This is the weekly. Just look at the weekly here. Doge, 23%. Filecoin, 22% down. BSV down 33%. Who actually cares? Cardano, 20%. A few people actually care. We're going to talk about Cardano later on in the show. But that's what I'm trying to show you here. I'm trying to show you that this might actually be a real dip. I hope to God that it is a real dip, because if it is a real dip, finally we can do some real buying, right? But right now, I'm not buying anything, and I'll show you exactly what my triggers are to actually be buying something. I'll show you that in a second. Now look, the reality. Let's quickly reality check. Reality check is, we knew this dip was coming. I told you a million times. I made videos about it. I told you this dip was coming. We saw the RSIs. I don't know if you remember, we did one show where we said the RSI was at 88. And I said to you, this RSI at 88 is really worrying me. The reason why it's really worrying me is because the last few times that the RSI hit 88 was really at the top of the cycle. So I told you that the RSI at 88 was really scary for me, made me feel uncomfortable. Most overbought levels since January 2021. That's one of the things that I spoke about. I mean, this had to have been a top signal, right? When the dog wolf hat raised money to be put on the sphere in Vegas. Now, I don't know what was more of a top signal: the dog being on top of the sphere, or KSI Crypto Advisor, KSI Crypto Genius, tweeting about it. And so I said, you mean wolf on the sphere, or the fact that you're tweeting about it? Which one is the top signal? So Scott Malka actually worded it quite well. He said, look, I have some concerns. Fundamentally, with the ETF interest and the crypto cycle ramping up, I want to believe that we're going to go higher, much higher. However, most of the top signals I would normally look for when I'm not FOMOing are present. Meme coins are going insane. Huge run on alts, historically overbought, a bearish divergence in the RSI, which is what we said yesterday. We said the RSI was going down, the momentum was going down, the price was continuing to go up. He says, I would not be at all surprised to see this market cool off massively for a few months before ramping up again. Now, I don't think it's going to be a few months. I think it's going to be less than a month. But I don't think it's going to be bought up today or tomorrow, which means that we have time. We have time to do the right thing. We have time to do what we want. I don't believe that it's time to be buying yet. Some more top signals. I said it to you before I made a meme coin show. I said every time we make a meme coin show, it means that a lot of people are trading memes. That's why we make the meme coin shows. Okay? And we did a meme coin show. And again, as usual, it's a top. I said it before. Yeah, it was the top here. You can see it was a local top here. It was a local top here, and it was a local top here. I know, when we make a meme coin show, usually it's a local top. And I said it to you before I made the meme coin show. Okay? 𝗥𝗡𝗦 did a study, a tweet. And he said in the tweet, I was interested to see how much SOL has been sent as a result of the pre-sale mania, and calculated 655,000 Solana, $122 million raised from 27 pre-sales. People going money into people I don't know into an avatar's account. I mean, come on, is that not a top signal? I'll give you some more top signals. Like, we saw this coming. People are saying meme coin projects are partnered up with 𝗥𝗢𝗢𝗢. That means that they're going to fly. That's like the old days when we used to say, hey, Alameda and FTX invested. Remember, you said like Alameda and FTX invested, and then people just used to chuck money at projects. Same thing. 𝗥𝗢𝗢𝗢 is the Alameda, although I think they are actually really good people, just by the way. The Zin meme thesis. You know what Zin is? Zin is like that tobacco thing, you know? Yeah. So there's a meme thesis, the Zin meme thesis. Come on, when they create Zim meme thesis, we know that that's froth in the market. Someone says, welcome to Crypto New Money. Feeling wrecked, crypto is a scam. This correction was necessary to educate you guys, sending tens of millions of SOL to Twitter addresses. That was a clear top signal. We knew this was a top signal. We said it. For me, the biggest top signal in the world. I've got to tell you a story about this top signal. Slurf. We spoke about Slurf yesterday. So Slurf was the guy that fucked up the dev. He fucked up. He burnt the LP tokens. I think it was like $10 million worth of SOL. Burnt them like an idiot. Okay, now I don't know who's the bigger idiot, okay? He was an idiot. He seems like a nice idiot, though. Like, I heard him on a Twitter Spaces. He seems like a really nice, remorseful guy. But the bigger idiots was this like a whole community. And I was listening to the spaces and I had to like check my phone to see that I wasn't in a simulation. I've never seen so many dumb people on one space in their life idolizing this guy. Yo, bro, you're like the best thing in the world, bro. Like, I was like, what? Seriously? Like, are these the people I'm trading against? And so this, for me, must have been a top set. And it's very hard for you to understand because you weren't on that spaces. But if you were on that spaces, you would check your brain to see if you were brain dead. Because it's one of those things where you listen and you went, no, this can't be real. Come on, this really, really, really cannot be real. This can't be real. These people cannot be that dumb. But then what happened was exchanges started seeing the opportunity around this slurf thing. Because remember what happened was the guy burnt the keys, burnt the LP tokens. And so instead of punishing him and being upset with him, people started to ape into the token and sent it to a $700 million market cap because this was the meme coin of the guy that messed up. So to reward him for messing up, we're going to max bid this fucking token because there's no VC money and there's no pre-sale money. I mean, isn't that the best reason to buy a token? Because the guy messed up. And then the more he was messing up, the more people were buying the token. So we haven't really seen anything like this before, at least I haven't. Exchanges started to raise money to compensate the victims of the pre-sale. So you had Jupiter Exchange come in and say, listen, we're coming in to because this dev messed up, we're going to reward the pre-sale people with fees. Then Andrew Kang said, the Slurf saga is one of the most retarded and beautiful things I've ever seen and witnessed in crypto. For that reason, I'm in. So because the guy messed up so badly, they were in. He says it actually has it all and some serious potential. Law, meme name, no supply overhang, fair distribution. To me, this was a real top signal. BitGet also jumped in. Justin Sun, of course, Justin Sun always jumps in. He always comes in last minute. HTX, we're giving all our fees to, and he was speaking on it. And I just thought this is the most brain dead thing I've ever heard. And because it was such a brain dead thing, and I agree with what Crypto Dog says. He says, I didn't realize how dumb the people we were trading. I didn't realize how dumb the people we were trading against are until I listened to the Slurf spaces. But then he also spelled Slurf wrong, which is a problem. So I don't know who's dumber, but no, we love Dog. But I'm just saying, when I listened to that spaces, I thought to myself, these are the dumbest people I've ever heard about. And so what did I do? Immediately, without even blinking, I immediately went and I started shorting Slurf. Problem is I was at gym when this was happening. So I only took a little bit of a short position. I wanted to take like 200,000. I took the first 50. The reason why I only shorted 50,000, I was going to short a whole lot more. I'm $15,000 up on that trade because I'm trading against idiots who were buying this token for no fucking reason. It's great. Thank you. Thank you for your money. The reason why I was scared to buy more is because of this curve, which is called a normal distribution curve. Now, what you got to remember when you're dealing with a normal distribution curve is the following. Most people fall here. This is the masses. You got to remember that the majority are the masses. And the masses aren't really smart. Like by definition, the masses pretty dumb. And in certain countries and territories, the masses are even more dumb than in other territories, right? Someone says late but obliterated the like on the way in. If you're late, I told you we're starting early. We start earlier now. Remember, we start earlier now. Don't fall here into the middle of the bell curve because this is where the idiots are. Now, why I was so scared to short, I was going to short 200,000. The reason why I didn't short 200,000 was because I was scared because as you can see, there are a lot of masses. You see, in this curve, and I'm going to talk to you a lot about this curve today. There are a lot of masses. The problem is when you're taking a smart curve, if you're here, and you're taking a smart bet, problem is that these masses have a lot of power. And I mean, there's certain communities. I mean, I don't want to mention any names, but you can mention the names in the chat, right? Name the communities in crypto. I'm not mentioning any of them, just for the record. But I want you to name the communities that you feel firmly are the dumb masses, but there's a lot of them. You know who they are. Come on, like there's some projects that like haven't delivered anything, and I don't want to mention names because then they just hate on me. But they've got like crazy lunatic followers that fall into the middle of the curve here. You got to be careful when you're taking a bet against these people. I took a bet against these people, you can see. And I was scared to take a bigger bet, and I was at gym, but if I wasn't at gym, I would have taken a much bigger bet. So I wanted to take a bet against these people, and I was just scared that the masses would come for me. That was what I was scared of. Now, here's what happened. What's going to happen next? We had euphoria. In this euphoria, people's portfolios exploded. Meme coin traders' portfolios, who, by the way, majority of them fell into this part of the curve over here. These guys made huge gains in this run-up. Okay? Now, the problem with what these people are is that this euphoria, they were euphoric. They were throwing money at pre-sales. The problem is that this euphoria turns into fear. And it turns into fear really quickly. How many of you were holding a portfolio and you didn't want to sell because you didn't want to miss the upside of the trade, but now you're holding and you're starting to hold the tokens all the way down. Now the problem is that you won't get shaken out by one move. So even if Bitcoin goes wicks down to 50,000 and then gets bought up, you won't be shaken out. You know what's going to shake you out? And it's going to shake you out slowly, like Chinese torture. You know how they torture people in China? They make you lie down, and then they strap your face like this, and then they drip water on your forehead for like, I think, hours or days. I YouTubed it. There were people who tried to do it for 8 hours. They went mentally insane. That's how this market will destroy people. Not by going down very quickly like FTX. FTX, the flash, didn't flash out many people. It was the length of the recovery which flashed out many people. Charles, how's it? But you're late. You're late because we told you we start early. Please, be on time tomorrow. Be on time tomorrow. Today we started a bit late for the people who were late. Tomorrow we're going to try and start on time. So you're not going to get shaken out. This euphoria is not going to get shaken out immediately. It's going to get shaken out slowly. And that's why I'm not buying it. When I look at the charts of the altcoins, what I can see is that the altcoins have gone down by 50, 60, 70, 80%. Some of them went down in this dip. But these guys haven't been shaken out yet. The behavior hasn't been shaken out yet. The froth in the market hasn't been shaken out yet. The sentiment in the market is still at extreme greed. I'm not buying. I'm not buying an extreme greed. Smarter than that. I've been here for much longer. Now, the reality is that we are still not there. We're still not there. I do see people on Twitter. I do see geniuses on Twitter telling you that you should be buying. That these are the perfect entries. I see these geniuses. There's a lot of them telling you that you need to be buying. Guess who's buying the dip right now? Saylor. Saylor's not buying the dip. Saylor buys all the time. He doesn't care about the price. People, Saylor's buying the dip, trying to get you to buy the dip. Be careful. Be careful who you're listening to on Twitter. Because if you're listening to people here in the middle of the dip, if you're listening to these people, then you will do what these people do. And you know who these people are. They support tokens that have no use case and have been promising delivery for a long time. And they just can't let go of those tokens. You know what I'm talking about. You tell me in the comments who you think those people are. In fact, I know you know who those people are. I'm just not going to mention any names because I don't want them to come for me on Twitter. The next 2 weeks might be our last chance to accumulate discounted altcoins. Maybe 2 weeks is about right. Now listen, I have no doubt that we're in a bull market. Just so we're clear. I have no doubt that this is a bull market. I have no doubt that this is a very healthy bull market. I have no doubt that this bull market's going to continue. I have no doubt that this bull market is going to be parabolic. I have no doubt. But we are going to get corrections. And these corrections, as you can see, sometimes take a little bit longer. And the reason why they take a little bit longer is because we need them to shake out bad behaviors. In these corrections, you have got to choose who you are following in terms of direction. Don't just buy the middle of the curve. Don't just get involved in the middle of the curve. As I said to you, I'm not buying anything yet. I have not released $1 of the money that I want to be investing yet. Why? Tell you why. Very simply. I look at the Bitcoin chart. Here it is. I look at the Bitcoin chart and I say, look, how far back have we gone from the all-time high? We're here. Oh, we're only 12. It's like we gave up 12 days gains. Not enough. Not enough. Take me back 30 days. Let's give back 30 days gains. Let's see where 30 days gains takes us. Yeah. 50,000. That's a fair level. That's when I'm going to start buying shit. I'm not buying now. Oh, you mean because we had a correction and the correction took us back? Let's just be a bit more scientific about this. So you're saying because we had a correction and the correction took us back to where we were 12 days ago, it's time to start buying. Like these are, what did KSI say? KSI crypto investor genius, perfect entries? No, this is the beginning of the dip. Now the challenge is that you've only got X amount of dry powder left. I know you've only got X amount of dry powder left. So don't deploy it yet. Don't deploy it. Wait. Be patient. We will deploy it when we see panic. I don't see panic. People are still, buy the dip, buy the dip. As I said, I have no doubt that we're in a parabolic bull market. I have no doubt that this parabola is very, very, very much intact. I have no doubt that the ETFs could take up to 100 billion, like Standard Chartered said. But I do think that we need a real correction. Now, I said earlier that I'm looking for under 60K. Now, at 60K, I'm going to reevaluate. I'm not buying anything at 60K. My buy orders aren't there. When we get to 60K, when we get to the 60K level, then I'm going to reevaluate what the sentiment is in the market. I'm going to see if enough people are in enough pain. Then I will decide if I'm buying or not. For now, not buying anything. I know this parabola is intact. I know we're going to bounce and we're going to do. I have no doubt. But for me, here's when I buy. I look at the fear and greed. I look at the sentiment and I say, when the fear and greed drops to levels where people are fearful, that is when I'm going to start buying. That is my ticket to actually start buying. Remember, this is a long-term game. You're not here to catch the bounces. Who cares about the bounce? Let Bitcoin bounce from 63 to 65. That's not what I'm here for. When Bitcoin gets to 50 and the altcoins have capitulated and they're down 50% or 40% or more, and they're so cheap and so juicy, then I start selling everything that I've got to actually buy these altcoins. But now to start to hurry up and buy now, what's your upside? What's the upside here? So let's move on. What are we doing right now? What do we do? Let's look at a couple of scenarios. Number one, you're holding good quality altcoins. Okay, if you're holding good quality altcoins, what do you do right now? What's the best move to make right now? Very, very, very simple. Nothing. Just do nothing. Chill. Do nothing. That's all you have to do. I don't know why this tortoise is here, but just do nothing. Okay. By the way, tortoises don't do nothing, bro. I'm telling you, they don't. I went back to remember I posted no, but there was another one from this weekend, actually. I'm going to download it for you. I'm going to show you. It's on WhatsApp desktop. By the way, WhatsApp desktop, the worst application ever made. You try to download something from WhatsApp desktop, you could spend the better part of your life downloading this application from WhatsApp desktop. And it's not a joke. Look how long it takes to download one stupid video from WhatsApp desktop. Well, okay, and I just downloaded the wrong video. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'll download this video first. I promise you, it's a good video to make you laugh while the here we go. Oh, I don't have sound. Okay, it's not going to work. We don't have sound today. Josh broke our sound. He broke the soundboard. So if you're holding good coins, do nothing. If you are, don't get shaken out. If you're holding good coins, just do nothing. Rob says, busy doing nothing. That's it. Just be busy doing nothing. You don't need to do anything. Just be busy doing nothing. If you're holding good coins, like we are, 90% of my investments, I'm not even looking. Honestly, I'm actually not even looking. If you are holding bad coins, says shitty broad market price action, always an emperor's new clothes moment for alts of the week. People suddenly realize they're holding some real bags of crap with no conviction and panicking, looking around the room, wondering if everybody else is seeing the same shit. This is the thing that I wanted to talk to you about the most. I know that when the market euphoria happened, you started to put money into shit. I mean, I also did, to be honest. I mean, luckily, get this. There was one, I was in such euphoria mode it was such euphoria mode, crazy euphoria mode. In Dubai, in the back of a taxi, bored as hell, gambling in the back of a taxi. I landed up buying this token. I paid like $1.80 for it. I think I've lost money on it. I bought it spot because there wasn't even a perpetual on it. Yeah, apparently it's a good token though. But I mean, I was so caught up in the moment. It's this NGL. Yeah, I'm still up. I'm actually still up. Now, NGL, it's a great token actually. No, it's a new one. It just launched. 𝗕𝗤𝗙𝗪, it's called. 𝗕𝗤𝗙𝗪. It's actually quite a good token. Now, I know that you bought a whole lot of stuff that you shouldn't have bought. And I know that right now you're thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm holding all these tokens. They're not really great tokens. And you're trying to justify to yourself in your mind why they are good tokens. Here's my advice to you. Get out now, today. Now, when I say get out, you can get out into cash, although I wouldn't be in cash because I think you've already missed the sell into cash part of the cycle. If you were, when I made the video and told people to deleverage and start selling, that was like somewhere over here. But now you've missed that. Now you've gone all the way down here. You've missed that, right? So if you're going to sell I would sell your bad tokens immediately. And what would I do? I'd switch them into good tokens. So let's say you were holding a bad token. The bad token's down 25, 30%. Have the conviction to say, this was a bad decision and switch it into a good decision token. I'll tell you why. Most tokens are down 20%. Let's look at the week. Let's look at like Rune, one of our favorite tokens, right? Like let's quickly look at Rune, 25.69% down. So let's just take an example and say you were holding Sandbox. You think Sandbox was a bad token. Sell your Sandbox today. You think Rune was a good token, put it into Rune. They're both down 25%. So this is a bad time to be selling good tokens. It's a good time to be switching shit tokens into good tokens because in the next part of this dip, the bad tokens will go down much more than the good tokens. So what you need to do now is say, you have to take a very good look at your altcoin list and you have to say, look at your altcoin list and say, hold on. Which of these tokens were mad, dumb decisions while I was drunk on the euphoria of making 100x's and billion x's and trillion x's on rubbish tokens? Then you take those tokens and you switch them into good tokens which actually make part of your buy list. That's what we're going to do. Now I want to talk to you about the buy list. So remember, if you're holding good tokens, do nothing. Go on vacation. Who cares? This market's going to go down. Bitcoin's going to go down to $50,000. Just come to terms with it. Come to terms with the fact that it's going to recover. Come to terms with the fact that it's actually going to recover. Come to terms with the fact that when it recovers, the parabola is very much intact. But for now, it's going to go down. And I mean, I hate saying it, but be ready for a $50,000 Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to get there. But just in case, that would take us back a month. Like going back 1 month is $50,000. I don't think we're going to get there. Calm down. But I think that when we do get there, or if we do get there, you should be ready for it. But if you're holding good tokens, if you're holding Solana, if you're holding Rune, if you're holding, I don't know, a whole lot of tokens, which we'll talk about in a second, don't worry about it. Chill. Don't worry about it. Someone said more people here than George had. That's always the case, people. I mean, you can't compare us, man. Right, next. So you're holding good tokens, you do nothing. You're holding bad euphoric tokens. You look in the mirror, and I'm just trying to think of what's the best way to make sure you're not sales pitching yourself. I would say explain to your wife why you bought the tokens, but she may divorce you for some tokens that you bought. I'll think about something, but you know what I mean. You got to be honest with yourself and trade out of the bad tokens now, today, because if this carries on going down, the bad tokens are going to go down much more than the good tokens, and then you're going to be screwed. You're going to be trying to pick up the pieces. Do it today, please. Just do it today. Don't delay. Tomorrow we could go down to 60,000. In fact, I think we will. I don't think it'll be tomorrow, but we're going to go down to 60,000. If you're holding shit tokens, if you don't know what the token does, if you don't have 100% conviction, sell and switch. If you sell and switch, you don't really sell, if you know what I'm saying. You don't really sell because, as I want to show it again, because there's some people here that learn slower than others. So I'm not going to. So as I said, you see Sandbox is down 25%, Rune's down 25%. Rune's a much better token than Sandbox that nobody actually uses, right? They're both down the same, which means that if you sell the one into the other, you could still save your portfolio. In 3 days, Sand's going to go down a lot more. Okay, then let's start making a buy list. Okay, very important that we start making a buy list. Now, when you make a buy list, remember something. The tokens and the narratives that ran in this part of the bull market are not going to be the tokens that ran in the next part of the bull market. That's what the bull markets are about. They're about multiple stages. In each stage, different tokens actually land up running, right? So like this is 2016. This was one narrative. This was another narrative. This was another narrative. This was another narrative. This could have been like real world assets, AI, gaming, meme coins. Everyone has a different, you know what I'm saying, right? So let's look at the buy list. And this is not my buy list, just so we're clear. This is not a buy list, and this is not where we're going to execute at all. In fact, we're not, at this stage, to be honest, I'm not even looking at price. Why? Because it's too early. It's too early. I don't know why the researchers are so anxious to put prices in here. Take the prices out. Right now, what I would be doing is saying the following. I would be making a buy list, but I wouldn't make any prices. Because you don't know how far this market's going to go. But I would start really making a buy list now. So what are the tokens that I would put on my buy list today, right now? First one that I'm putting on my buy list, Telegram. I explained to you yesterday that I think the L1 race is going to be a 4-horse race. And actually, I'm going to make it a 5-horse race. It's no longer a 4-horse race. Because someone was so kind on Twitter to remind me of one of my weak points. And so I had to, I'm saying, what are the 4 horses? Solana is one of the horses, although we're going to talk about Solana. Telegram. So I think there's going to be 5 winners in the layer 1 race. Who are the 5 winners? We spoke about it yesterday. Solana, because of the network effect and the fact that the technology is so great. That's number 1. Number 2, Telegram, because they have 900 million users. The third one is Base, because they have 10 million Coinbase users and easy onboarding into crypto. The fourth one, I said, it's a long shot. But from a technological point of view, I think you got to take a bet on 𝗬𝗓 and put 𝗬𝗓 into that list. But then I thought, hold on, there's a 5th one, 𝗬𝗓𝗏. Since 𝗬𝗓𝗏 invented this new supercomputer of theirs, they definitely a horse in the race. So for me, there's 5 horses in the layer 1 race. You can say Aptos or 𝗬𝗓. Aptos or 𝗬𝗓. You see, look at the researchers. They're playing on my spreadsheet. Just, you see, they're playing on, look here, they're playing on my spreadsheet. Let's see what they write here. Yeah, let's just write here. Get off my spreadsheet. Spreadsheet. Now. So, playing on my spreadsheet. Okay, you see. So there's going to be 5 horses in the layer 1 race. You could say, if you don't like 𝗬𝗓, you can look at Aptos. Okay, then what else am I looking to buy? What else am I actually looking to buy? I'll tell you what I'm not. You know, part of a narrative list and a buy list and stuff like that is you also got to choose the stuff you're not going to buy. So it's not only. Okay, let's talk man to man, man to woman. Okay, let's say you arrive at a nightclub. Now you know you're at the nightclub to do shopping, right? You know exactly what I mean when I say shopping. If you're at the nightclub, you're there for a purpose. You're there to do shopping. You're there to buy shit, right? When you arrive in the nightclub, before you start drinking, before the drinking, it's very important that you do this before you start drinking. And by drinking, I mean when the market starts going up again and we start getting drunk. Trust me, this is a life lesson. Dan, this is a life lesson, okay? I learned this the hard way sometimes, and I'm embarrassed to talk about this on a crypto show, but we're going to talk about it now. Listen. When you're going to a nightclub, and you know you're going shopping in that nightclub, you know you're going to pick up what you need to pick up. Before you start drinking, you have to decide what you're going to pick up and also what you're not going to pick up. That's the important part, because otherwise the problem is when you drink and you're drunk on the euphoria of high prices, sometimes you'll end up taking home, putting into your bags, things that you don't want in your bags, in your bed, in your bags. You don't want them because they're revolting and sometimes they have diseases and stuff. it's important that when you walk into the nightclub, before while it's still calm and while we're not drunk and while we're all pretty sober, that you decide which ones you want to take with you and which ones you don't want to take with you. And then it's important that you stick to your thesis even after you've had a couple of drinks. You know the problem I'm talking about, right? If you walk into a nightclub and you don't say, those I may pick up in this party, those I'm not touching, they're revolting. I'm not touching those people. It's super important that you do it before. Only if you've been in that situation before and you've had a couple of drinks and you've taken home some rotters, okay? If you've taken home some what do they call them in London? Mingers. If you take home some mingers, then you will realize why it's so important to make those decisions very early in the cycle, before we get drunk on the euphoria of prices that are actually going up. So for me, I've done that, and I've made the decision. I've said, look, ETH, I'm not taking home ETH. I don't care what happens, I'm out of ETH. I've tapped out of ETH. I've got my ETH. I've got enough. I'm not buying any ETH this cycle. There are a whole lot of other tokens that I'm not buying this cycle. Okay, this ETH thing, listen guys, there's not going to be an ETH ETF in May. If you're betting on an ETH ETF in May, there's no ETH ETF in May, forget about it. And if there is, you can meme this, I don't really give a shit. This ETH BTC trade is not turning around. While there is Solana and while there is Telegram and while there is fast blockchains, we don't need more development on ETH. So I'm not taking home ETH. Feels good, man. AVAX just flipped Cardano. I'm not taking Cardano home with me in this bull market. Okay, I've just decided Cardano is very cool. It's a great project. I'm sure there's a lot of things happening on Cardano. I'm 100% sure that the people that support Cardano know for sure that there's a lot of cool things happening on Cardano. I don't want to play Cardano. Okay, I'm out. I'm out of Cardano. You know what the problem is? I don't know how to read academic papers. And if I knew how to read academic papers, then I'm not buying Cardano. Then the other one that I'm not buying XRP. I love this tweet. It said, after 7 years of holding and accumulating XRP, I'm finally able to buy coffee and watch the proud owner of his Lambo drive away. I'm not buying XRP. Okay, I'm not. And there are a couple of other tokens I'm not buying. But like, as I said, the important thing is, very important, in the bull market, you got to decide what are you buying and what are you not buying. When you walk into the club, you say, no matter how drunk I get, her, not taking home. Her, not taking home. It's okay, you got to be careful. You got to decide that before, because the problem is when the music starts playing and you have a couple of drinks and the prices are going up, she didn't look good before, but now everyone else is taken, everyone else is expensive, and then you land up taking her home and then you're screwed. Okay, so I've decided those are the ones I'm not buying Cardano, not buying XRP, not my game, not my game. Tired of hearing the empty promises. I rather go somewhere else. So what am I buying? What am I looking to buy? And we'll be very quick here because this is not the buy list show actually. This is just, I was explaining to you about the bear market. Aptos showing relative strength. I prefer SUI, but you can buy Aptos or SUI. I'll show you another one. So one thing that you need to, so Avalanche, you can choose to buy Avalanche. I mean, it's cool. I like Avalanche. They're doing great things. They're definitely shown to have stay power, but they're not one of my favorites. That's not one that I'm rushing to buy, but they are doing amazing things. So again, it's just, for me, I don't need it in my portfolio because I've decided my layer one exposure is going to be different, but they are doing all the right things. I've got to be honest. They are doing all the right things. EOS, one that I am actually adding to my portfolio. Solana, I want to talk about Solana. I've always been the biggest Solana bull. You know that. I bought my Solana at $13. I posted the trade publicly. Am I rushing to buy Solana now at $180 or whatever the price of Solana is now, $178.86 or whatever it is on the top of the screen? No. Tell you why. Even though I do think that Solana is going to be the number 3 coin, Bitcoin, ETH, Solana. And I think that Solana is by far the best layer 1 blockchain. I think that if we get a big enough shakeout, the meme traders will be the ones that get shaken out the most, right? And because the meme traders will be the ones that get shaken out the most, that will shake the Solana meme narrative, and the daily active users on Solana will start dropping and the metrics on Solana will start dropping, which means that Solana may not accelerate as high. So what is my thesis? Solana is going to be the number 3 coin. Solana is the best layer 1 blockchain by far right now in terms of technology and network effects combined. But this huge pump in Solana was mainly driven by meme coin traders. If the dip becomes crazy and the meme coin traders get shaken out to a point where they get shaken out so badly, like we were shaken out after Luna and after FTX, where we swore that we'd never be irresponsible ever again until the next meme coin season, until the next time that strangers in the internet ask us to send us millions of dollars and we just send it to them. But I think that what's going to happen is that if these meme coin traders get shaken out badly, when I say badly, the prices will go down and they will stay down for a long time so that the meme coin traders will start to sweat bullets. Then I think Solana may take longer to recover. It'll be an amazing, amazing, amazing buying opportunity. Someone says 𝗕𝗤𝗄 on Sol Andrew Tate based meme up 200% today. I'm actually a holder of 𝗕𝗤𝗄. We'll look at 𝗕𝗤𝗄 I promise you we'll look at 𝗕𝗤𝗄 in a second. What I'm trying to say to you is that I think that if the meme coin guys get shaken out and the meme coin season dies, and I hope it doesn't, but if it could happen, then be careful if you're going to accumulate Solana, because Solana's had a massive, massive, massive run. In fact, probably the biggest run of all the major altcoins has been Solana, right? So let's just look at Solana. I mean, just look at this chart. Just look at this chart. So, I mean, this chart just tells you everything you need to know. Solana's gone up this year. Here. No, here. No, here. Okay, here. No, here. Okay, it's there. Okay. Solana's gone up 150, only 115% this year. No, but it's had a parabolic run. And I think what's going to happen is if the meme coin traders get shaken out, the Sol metrics won't look as good and then it won't fly as high. So that's another one. Rune. I'm dying to get into Rune. I think when it gets to around $5, I'm going to buy into my Rune. Remember, I sold my spot Rune at $10. Phantom, making all the right noises and showing a whole lot of relative strength. That's one that I may be looking to add. One that I may be looking to add, in fact, I have added it. So Crown Games. Crown, that's the NFT horse racing game. Definitely adding that. 𝗥𝗓𝗏, definitely adding that. AOS, Stride, Pith, Rollbit. Immutable I want to add, but it's got to come down a lot. Celestia, let's talk about Celestia. We'll do a proper buy list show in the next couple of days. But Celestia, let's talk about Celestia for a second. Love the technology of Celestia. Love it. Think that Celestia is incredible. Only thing is, people are buying it for the airdrops, not for the technology. And now, that's why it's gone from $20 to $13. Now, when it gets to $6, I may buy it because I actually like the tech. Couldn't give a shit about the airdrops. I just like the tech. And that's why, for me, I highlighted in orange. Chainlink, if it goes down to $7 or $8, worth a buy. Say, if it goes down to 4 cents, worth a buy. That's the kind of levels that I'm looking to buy. That's the kind of levels that I'm looking to buy. Show you another one, which I did buy. I'm going to be honest with you. I did buy it, but they are also a sponsor. So I'm going to say it again. I bought them. But also, coincidentally, they are a sponsor of ours. What are they? It's this token over here. It's the token is called OM. Now, or it's Mantra. The project's called Mantra, but the token's called OM. It's a real world asset project which is built on Cosmos. Okay, now it's all the rage right now. You can see that the price has gone absolutely parabolic. I did buy some. I think I bought it around here-ish. Oh, why is it on the weekly? Hold on, it's on the weekly. Yeah, there we go. So I did buy it. Why did I buy it? I am relatively bullish real world assets. It is right now bigger market cap than Ondo, and they just completed a very, very, very big capital raise. I think they raised $11 million, and from big funds, right? Massive partners. So this is why this is one of the tokens that I actually bought. That is one of the tokens that I actually bought. Now, am I telling you to buy it now? No, I'm not telling you to buy anything now. As I said, we wait because we think this is going to continue to go down. And as we sit here and we speak about everything going down. Everything is going down, 62,500. Now, do we care? Yeah, of course, it's painful. Remember, this account was at one stage at $4.7 million. Now it's at $3.7 million. This account's lost $1 million. Do I look like I'm stressing? No, not at all. But we definitely should, definitely should look at the short here, because at some point you want to close the short. Let's see, where is my short? Short. $18,000 up on that short. And I'm being paid to short it. Life is British. People are paying me to go short, and I'm busy making money on this thing. Okay, you guys are talking about GTOP. Let's see. Bird's eye. Let's look at GTOP. We said we'd look at GTOP. I think GTOP doesn't search on this one. You have to put the contract code in. Let's see. Yeah, GTOP. Andrew Mate, 4. I actually hold some of this token. I actually hold a lot of this token, funny enough. Let's see what I earn here. I can't see. Okay, I hold a lot of this GTOP token. I bought like $10,000 of this shit at like $1 million market cap. I don't own many meme coins. I own Warren. I own GTOP. I own 𝗥𝗚𝗢, which is 𝗥𝗡𝗙's sister, apparently. I just don't know if 𝗥𝗡𝗙 knows that 𝗥𝗡𝗙 is his sister. I think it's like a Twitter-made narrative. You see, this is the problem with meme coins, you see? Apparently, I guess I'll tell you what happened here, right? In terms of meme language. 𝗥𝗡𝗙 was 𝗥𝗡𝗙's sister, but 𝗥𝗡𝗙 didn't know that 𝗥𝗡𝗙 was his sister, so now the chart collapsed. So now this is what the story is. That's the only reasonable explanation I can come up with, is that 𝗥𝗡𝗙 doesn't know that 𝗥𝗡𝗙's his sister. Okay, another couple of things. Remember, if you want to trade Athena token, there's only one place that I know where you can trade Athena token, and that is on Evo. Evo always lists tokens that aren't actually listed yet, right? So you see, they're giving Athena a price of between 70 and 80 cents. You can trade it before it actually comes to the market. If you want to do that, just sign up here with this link below here, Evo. Sign up with Evo. You can stand a chance to win one of 7. We should start giving away the Apple Vision Pros. You give me lists. Just hold on. This guy sits here. Okay. Tomorrow, this whole bottle of water goes on you if there's no list to give away Apple Vision Pros. Live on camera. So if you want to sign up to Evo so you can trade these tokens before they actually list, then just do it. There's the link. Also remember the BitGet account. I've got 100 grand in this BitGet account. I'm going to start trading the BitGet account. If you can't sign up onto BitGet, sign up onto Evo. They got most of the tokens too. But otherwise, sign up onto BitGet, put your money in. It's not that I haven't been, people are saying, why haven't you been trading? I'm not trading yet. The only trade I took was the short, and that I took from the Bybit account. When I start trading, when I see the prices are juicy, I'm starting on this BitGet portfolio. You can choose to sign up on BitGet with me or Bybit, or OKX if you want. But Bybit or BitGet is where I do most of my trading. If it's not available in your territory, then sign up to Evo. Yeah, I see that. Okay, I see that. Cool. Then, is there anything else that's important for today? No, there's nothing else that's important. Frontrunners. You can't get into frontrunners, bro. They're saying frontrunners that people must get into. You can't get into frontrunners. Unless someone dies or someone doesn't pay their thing, you cannot get into frontrunners. But if you want to be in frontrunners, let's just say hypothetically you want to be in frontrunners, go to here, click on the frontrunners link. But it doesn't mean you're not going to get in. It just means that you're on the waiting list for when it does open. And we may open. I don't know. For now, we're not opening it. Listen, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my friends.